You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, we're going to talk about the New York Jets. Yesterday I did a video because, well, Troy Aikman absolutely obliterated the Jets and, of course, their offensive performance and really the entire team on Monday Night Football. They took a really, really bad loss, a game I thought they would win, frankly. I did. I thought they would win. I thought special teams, great defense, Zach Wilson would make enough plays. He was a dumpster fire. He was awful. And then it took me back. Of course, I think the same day Carson Wentz gets signed by the Rams, and I'm like, you know, I said this the night that I think Aaron Rodgers got hurt. I made that video, and I was like, I assume they'll call Carson Wentz the next day or tonight or something. They never did. Why didn't the Giants call him? Who cares? John Middlecoff did a really good rant about Carson Wentz having not been signed already. It's ridiculous. Well, one thing that caught my attention during that broadcast of Monday Night Football was Troy Aikman said, and I know I did a double take when he said it, he referred to Quinnen Williams, Quinnen Williams is making a hell of a lot of money, okay? And he's a hell of a good defensive player, and he said flat out, Quinnen Williams was being used as a decoy. Except, and this makes Troy Aikman look really bad if this is true, Quinnen Williams is coming out flat out and saying Troy Aikman is a liar. He said, not only did I not tell him that, I didn't even talk to him. I'm like, what? Troy went on Monday Night Football, and Williams is saying, we never had a conversation. We never had a talk. Zero. Nothing. At all. So, now we're going to get to the reaction from that, but let me just set it up because here's what Troy had to say right here. This is awful announcing on their X.
Defenders in the AFC, there's no doubt. And sacks or not, Quinnen Williams is having an impact on games in the pressure that he's able to get and the double teams that he attracts. And he opens things up for all of these other players. So Quinnen Williams, he keeps telling Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich, they got to come up with some ways to give him some single opportunities so he can get some sacks. He says he's the highest paid decoy in football.
He says. He flat comes out and says. He says he's the highest paid decoy in all of football. And it's like, well, that's sort of interesting now that we're hearing what we're hearing, and let's get to this. At a midweek press conference, Williams addressed Aikman's comments. Quote, I've seen something like Troy Aikman said I said something about being a decoy, Williams said. Quote, I never said that. Like I never talked to Troy Aikman. I never said that to Troy Aikman. Like I don't know where he got that from. Like it never came out of my mouth that I was the highest paid decoy or something like that. He said on Monday night or something like that. So I never said that. Like I never talked to him before the game. Uh-oh. I never alluded to that. Like it's never been out of my mouth. Like I never had a conversation with him at all. He's just coming out and saying he didn't talk to Troy. And Troy made it pretty clear that was a quote from Quinnen Williams. So to hear him say that, I said that, is kind of like upsetting that he would lie on me, I guess on me like that, or say that I said that's so kind of weird to me. But Aikman never said Williams said this directly to Aikman. It's possible that Saleh or Ulbrich or somebody else shared the characterization with Aikman. No. Hold on now. Let's go back.
These other players. So Quinnen Williams, he keeps telling Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich, they got to come up with some ways to give him some single opportunities so he can get some sacks. He says he's the highest paid decoy in football. Okay,
so the question is, Who said that? Williams, Saleh, Ulbrich? Man, that is that's pretty wild. By the way, Williams, I mean, he is a true monster coming from the defensive side of the ball, and he's one of the reasons why their defense is absolutely one of the best in the league. But that's not a good look for Troy Aikman if nobody actually said that exact quote, because the problem is Troy literally says, he says. If he'd have just rolled through it and not said the he says part, he would have been fine. It does sound like Troy heard it from Williams, is how Troy put it. But earlier, about a sentence earlier, he said something about Saleh and Ulbrich. So I'm wondering, did that come from one of the two coaches? I mean, if Troy Aikman just randomly came up with that and didn't actually hear it because he said it that it was a quote, then that's a really terrible look for a guy that I really, really like how he calls games. I got a lot of respect for. I like Troy all the way around. I do. I like Troy more as a NFL analyst than I ever did as a Dallas Cowboy quarterback. You know, I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I'm just saying. I'm being honest. But that's a really, really bad look. And it's one of the reasons why people don't love the media too much and are watching channels like this because of crap like that. If he is saying that Williams said it and Williams is saying, not only did I not say it, I never even talked to Troy Aikman, that's a really bad look. Now, keep in mind, before they have these games, the week leading up, Aikman and Buck sat down with various members of the team and the coaching staff, and you can guarantee they sat down with Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich. Okay, they're going to always sit down with the offensive, defensive coordinators and the head coach, and maybe some assistant coaches, and usually some players. So I'm starting to think maybe this is more of, it came from Saleh, it came from Ulbrich, and when Aikman said it, there was some confusion about whether or not Williams said it. The media took it as Williams said it, and you can see it got back to Williams. So this leads us over to a conspiracy theory that's developed about Zach Wilson. We talked about the fact, why the hell didn't the brass, looking at you, Joe Douglas, why didn't you sign Carson Wentz, get another quarterback in there? I'm not talking Trevor Siemian, although Trevor Siemian should have been on the field the other night. And it's bringing up conspiracy theories about whether or not Robert Saleh, who's saying that he's sticking with Zach Wilson still, some people are beginning to believe that this is a demand from Joe Douglas or somebody in the front office that Zach Wilson stays on the field. Saleh's having to come out and deny it now. The Jets, according to head coach Robert Saleh, aren't receiving demands from the front office to keep playing Wilson despite a poor offense. They're lockstep with the decision. Are you? And as Wilson nears the one-year anniversary of Saleh benching him for Mike White, Uzomah has sensed growth from Wilson in a situation like that. And they're talking about a throw that was made to CJ and it wasn't caught, or it was a bad throw, some crap like that. Quote, I think he's in the huddle, he's in the pocket. When he's saying stuff tough, he's a completely different person than he was last year, Uzomah said. Saleh reiterated Wednesday that the Jets don't plan to give Tim Boyle or Trevor Siemian first-team practice reps. Why not? Why not? He also said Wilson has put the Jets in position to win games, citing the Giants, the Broncos, and the Eagles games. He made some very big throws during the Eagles game. He did. We're on the same page with Wilson starting, Saleh said. So any conspiracy theories that might be out there, we're on the same page. So he's saying, look, they're not going to hit the panic button. They're not going to just yank Zach. What do you got to lose? I mean, I know PFF's got him, I think, as the number 30 out of 36 potential quarterbacks in all of football in quarterback grades right now. I mean, Tim Boyle, give him a shot, you know? I mean, if nothing else, to re-energize the fan base, because the fan base is on full-blown panic, and I don't blame them. All the while, they're thinking, Jesus, can we just get to Aaron Rodgers? Can we get back to Aaron Rodgers? You know, can this team be 500 when Aaron Rodgers comes back, if he does come back during the year? You know, I mean, it's just so stagnant and it's stale, and part of it is, and the Patriots are suffering from this, the offense is hard to watch and it's boring and it makes you want to rip your eyeballs out. And that's part of it. I mean, there's no watchability to the offense, which makes it so much worse. All right? It'd be one thing if you had Mike White out there and you at least knew Mike White could bring you up and down the field and make some 20-yard throws and some 30-yard throws. Yeah, he might throw 2 picks, but by God, he's slinging for 350 yards. I mean, you know, it makes Mike White made the games completely interesting. You know, the other thing we haven't brought up is this is basically the same team that shit all over Zach Wilson last year wearing Mike White shirts. These are the same teammates and all of that. I mean, a lot of people haven't forgotten about that. Do you think the defense would like to see another quarterback be given a shot because they're out there on the field killing themselves all the time? Now, the defense might like to see something. Can you get some first downs? Can you convert a first down? The defense is wore out. And then what happens the other night happens. It's crazy. It's hard to watch them on offense. It really is. So, anyway, now back to Troy real fast. You know, if Troy just made that shit up out of the thin air, which I kind of find hard to believe, if he did, it's a terrible look. But if he heard it from one of the coaches or Ulbrich, Saleh, one of the coaches and or AIKMAN need to come out and say, look, I need to clarify. It came from the coaches. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Because as of right now, Quinn Williams is saying Troy Aikman is a liar. Liar. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.